Oh, greetings, folks. We are back in the wilds of South Carolina, the back of beyond, pulling up into my property here. We're going to do a follow-up video. So the last one got a lot of attention, lots of questions. I have, since the last trip, surpassed 1,000 miles of travel purely on solar power. So I think I'm about 1,200 miles of purely solar powered miles. And this is also my first winter with the ID4. And I am learning, this is my first trip with cold weather, and I got about 15% reduction in efficiency on the way here. So pulling up with 28% on the battery, and that's because I anticipated the efficiency problem and started with 100% this morning. So when I left my house I had 100%. Now I've got 28. Now normally I start with 80, so I would be pulling in here with about 8% on the battery had I not overcharged this morning. And anyway, I'm glad I took that precaution. But we're here, and actually, let's get this thing set up for charging. So, charging. I want to charge it to 50% immediately, and that's the way I'm going to have it. So let's see what we got to do. It's good to be back. It's about 40 degrees. It's been 40 degrees the whole trip, and that was enough to knock me back down to about 85% of what I normally get. Let's get out the key for the shed and make sure everything's ready to go. Sorry, I got about 1 million keys here. Alright. Alright. Here we are. There's the, I guess I'm way zoomed. Am I zoomed? There we go. Coming out. There's the EG4. Of course, it's been about a week, so I imagine I've got 100% battery. I almost certainly do. Let's see if it comes around. Yep, 100% battery. And let's see what we got. About 100, and let's see. We got 200 volts on our solar array. That's because of the cold temperature. And yeah, we're ready to go. So let's charge this baby up. Open the door. Here's my Grizzl-E. I really love this thing. It's a lot better than the one I use at home, that's for sure. Maybe I should get another one. We'll try to do this one-handed. Oh, Christ, sorry. Okay, there we go. Alright, and plug her in. Alright, now they should start talking to each other, the car and the XP, 6000 XP. There we go. Started ramping up. Let's see what it's going to tell us here. 200 volts. We got about 1.18. Oh, it's going to go up. You can hear it ramping up. That's another thing people always complain about, is these things are pretty noisy. And they are, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me because it's not like I live in this shed. But yeah, so we have pretty high voltage, that's good. and we're at about, let's see, 1.69 kilowatts on the, yeah, they match. Okay. So the battery itself, what is the battery doing? Battery's kicking in 2.5 kilowatts, and there's the car. Should probably go around and look to see how the panels look. If they're clean or covered with bird droppings or whatnot. I don't know. They look great. Yeah, it looks nice and clean. So this is about 11 o'clock in the morning. So we got pretty good sun. The angle's good. I would say I'm almost directly on, in line with the panels. Of course, the sun's really, sun's pretty low in the sky this time of year. Now, if we were back when I first finished this thing, the sun would be directly overhead. We wouldn't even be casting a shadow, and right now I got a pretty long shadow going on, so it really does make a difference. Let's see what the car says as far as how long this is going to take to get up to 50. It's going to end at 1:32, so that is 2.5 hours from now. And I imagine that's going to be a piece of cake with this much sun and full battery and everything else. So that's all there is to it. That's how it works. I show up and start charging. Wanted to show you one other thing here I'm quite pleased with. I noticed that the panels were getting very covered with pollen and you know, sometimes bird droppings, pine needles. So I bought this squeegee, and it's got a 12-foot retracting handle, and I'm able to go out, and what I've been doing is I go out in the morning when there's dew on the panels, and squeegee them off, and that seems to really wash everything down, and I've been able to keep these nice and clean. Now I got a couple of bird droppings up on the corner right there right now, but I don't know. This is very, very cold, dry weather. I imagine instead of dew, it'll be frost in the morning. Anyway, everything's looking good. It's operating well, and yeah, we ought to be good for 50% charge by 1:30. And well, good morning, or as my Volkswagen would say, Guten Morgen. Today is December 3rd, 2024. Now, yesterday I easily got to my 50%. That was no trouble at all. But we got some cold weather. Well, another cold front coming through. And I think there's going to be some rain. Today we've got unbelievably good solar. There is sun galore. And anyway, they say that fate deals the cards, but you have to play them. So I decided I'm going to go up to 80 today, and then whatever I can get tomorrow, and head home, because this is unfortunately going to be a short trip. Now, after, I'll go in the shed here, after the car charged up to 50% yesterday, it started charging the shed battery, and let's say we're at here. We're at 77% right now. So I should easily be able to get up to 80 today. That's no trouble at all. And then tomorrow, as closest to 100 as I can get will be great. Let's just set this up. Oh, there we go. 10:54. Oh, can't have music on now. All right. Let's just go ahead and change this to charge to 80%. And that's all we have to do. Yeah. Go over here to my Grizzl-E and get some of this cord out. It's actually a really long cord. I could park out in the sun, and maybe I should. Maybe it'd warm up the car a little bit. And boom, they're plugged in. Let's see, this is going to react. You're going to notice that there's a big demand. Yeah, you can hear it ramping up. And okay. It's hitting, yep, almost, we're right about, almost at 6 kilowatts, which is the total output this EG4 is capable of. On the solar arrays, let's see what we got here, 180 volts. Alright, so we're just shy of 2 kilowatts on each array, and that means the battery has to kick in about a 1.5 kilowatts. So even at 77%, it ought to, I'd say, easily reach that 80% today, and then we'll get what we get tomorrow and head on back. But anyway, so this is some of the things that you encounter when you're dependent entirely upon the sun. And I said before in my first video that there are options. If grid power is available to you, you could just bypass and go right to the grid. And also if you had a generator of some kind. But I don't have nor want either of those things, so I'm just doing it all with the sun. And we'll check back later to see how we did. Well, it's about 20 after 2, so I started the charging about a little over 3 hours ago, and wanted to check in, see if I made it to 80 or where we're at. I know for sure that we lost all of our sunlight because with the sun this low in the sky now, it starts getting blocked by the trees very early in the afternoon. In the summer I had pretty much direct sunlight until 5 o'clock. Now look at that, it's all shadows. Oh well, I'd have to take out a whole bunch of trees to change that. I don't know if it's worth it. Now let's see where we're at here. Alright, car, what you got for me? Alright, 71%. And it quit charging, which means that the battery or the PV ran out before I was done, got up to 80%. Let's check here. Alright, well, it looks like the battery's at 51.9 volts, pretty low. Yeah, it's 25%. So the battery got down too low, and the EG4 just cuts it off. So it gets to a level, I think that level's 15%, I'm not sure. But it gets there, and it stops it stops providing power, and then it goes to charging the batteries. So right now the batteries are charging with what little sunlight there is. Let's see what this has to say. Yeah, we've got 27%, I think it says. And anyway, it'll spend the rest of whatever sunlight's available for the rest of the day. It's going to go into the batteries here. And I didn't quite get to 80. So I got, what did I get? I started at 50. Now it's 71, so I got 21%. It's not terrible. Way less than I would have expected from even a month ago. But I guess you got a red light on the charger here, meaning that the power just went out, or went out before. Anyway, I'm going to have to make up whatever I can tomorrow. Got to go from my current 71% up to, I don't know, at least 90 before I feel comfortable going home. Well, good morning, and a frosty winter morning it is today. We are standing right now at about 21 degrees. You can see the panels are under a layer of frost, and never seen this before. It's pretty cool. There's frost on the ground, and I'm hoping that by the time I leave today it's going to be at least 40 degrees, because that's what I drove up here on, and 40 reduced my efficiency by, I'd say, about 15%. Now, since yesterday, the car added, oh my, I gotta turn this off. Get nailed for copyright infringement. Since yesterday, the car added another 3% while it was waiting. So I'm at 74. So if I can get 16, I'll get to 90. That should be enough to get home. More than enough, actually. And then if I get more than 16, I'll even have a better buffer than that. Right now it's telling me I could go 169 miles on what I've got, which would actually be enough. But I don't know if it's really taking into account the temperatures. So let's see where the battery's at in here. Oh boy. Where are we at, little XP? Alright, let's see where we are here. We got nothing coming in yet, PV wise. We got 49.9. Ooh, the battery's quite low. 0%. We got 0% battery. So, what I'm gonna have to do is wait for it to charge up. I get to about 50%. That's about the time to start charging. And well, look at that frost on the charger too. I'm going to undo this. Let's see here. Unlock. Take this out. Hang it back up. And I'm going to move the car out into the sunlight, and we can get it warmed up for the trip. Whew. That's the other thing. Oh, Christ. Gotta turn it off every time. Another thing about the EV is that you waste a lot of energy on heat. So, and you try to use as little as possible. Backing up, backing up. I guess that's one good thing about having it parked under there, is that the windshield doesn't frost up so bad. And I'll just pull it up right about here. That should like I think I've told you before, there's a lot of cord that comes with that Grizzl-E charger. That's a nice feature. So I'll be able to make it out here. And well, I need to update the gas price sign. Today is 12/4/24, and a cold one it is. I will check back with you later. Well, I have been busying myself while I wait with splitting kindling. Kindling is the unsung hero of building a great fire. I've got lots of good firewood, but I was running out of kindling, so I took an old pine stump that I had, cut it into sections, and I've been splitting kindling like crazy. I'm going to be good for, I don't know, a couple of years when this is all done. Now I had to make a judgment call on the car here. The shed battery's up to about 35%. That's a little low. I was hoping to get to about 45-50 before I started, but I'm getting such great sun right now, and I really only need 13% to get to 90 in the car, which 90 would get me home, and whatever I get over that is just gravy. So yeah, I've got it going. I set it to 100. That means it'll charge all the way until the battery of the shed gives out and it gives up. So that I don't want to set it for 90 and find out that I could have gotten a 95. Whatever. This thing's going full bore. Let's see what we're looking at here. We got about 2 kilowatt hours from each one, and the battery itself is providing about 3 kilowatt hours. So let's see where we're at right now. It's at 30%. I don't know. I think it'll run down to 0 and then it'll quit, but well, we'll see what happens. There's always this delicate dance of do I start too early and run out of battery, or do I start too late and run out of sun? And there's some magic point in there where it's the perfect time, and I have to just guess at that. I can't figure that out right now. But anyway, we are here, December 4th, 2024, and if everything goes as I expect, I'll be heading home today on the power of the sun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.